Hello YouTube peers and welcome to another episode of What Did You Miss? This is number 17 I think. Anyway, I think I just noticed, I think I forgot to switch back to a lower resolution for my streaming after I recorded this video. I don't think I dropped a whole lot of frames though, so maybe it's not a big deal. Anyway, whatever. Anyway, moving on. So Monday through Thursday, this is Friday morning, by the way, or well, between Thursday and Friday night. Just a little bit after midnight, a little more than an hour after. Anyway, there is. Let's just do a quick confirmation of the time for you guys that are curious. I think chat should show up on the screen. If maybe not. Okay. Anyway, okay. For some reason my camera does, but anyway, whatever. I guess if I went to this scene, it would show up. No, that's just weird. Never mind. Forget it. I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, let's get on with the video. So, what was I going to say? Monday through Thursday, I was doing a lot of Shin Megami Tensei V. That was mostly the only thing I was doing. I was definitely like watching some Mario and LeveLhead streams, but I wasn't really like submitting very many levels, or it wasn't what was I gonna say? I wasn't doing any building either. Anyway, so we're gonna talk about Shin Megami Tensei, but I'm gonna save it for the end of the video. Let's just go through this chronologically. So I kind of played like a big, like half of a week session of Shin Megami Tensei all at once, and I might do that again. I just want to finish up the game, but I should put it down for a while. And basically, I mean, as we speak, I left the game running because I wasn't sure if I was going to keep playing it or not, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I defeated a bunch of these enemies that have these keys. And I have to get the third one, but that can wait until later. So we have a highlight of me drawing some stuff. I actually drew something to sort of warm up, like some abstract art at the beginning of the stream, but I kind of messed up and didn't save the file. And also my camera was blocking it on screen, so I was just like, let's just not highlight that. Anyways, you can see this is my first time trying to do a pixel art emote, because usually I just use solid colors. I think it turned out okay for my first time attempting this. I would not mind getting some pointers from people, blah, blah, blah. I think I had to redraw some of that mouth because I think I lost my progress. I'm not sure. Maybe I didn't. Well, anyway, at some point I did lose progress and I had to do it over again. It turned out okay, I suppose. I'm not sure, like, I think I'm really bad at drawing GR-teen, blah, 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 but there was a silly attempt at trying to draw him. And then we tried to draw, like, a Picross board. Like, it's in the middle of being solved or something, I don't know. Anyway, so that's that highlight. And that was for the subscriber, because somebody got gifted a sub, so we gifted, we drew something for the guy that got gifted. So that was Thursday. You'll notice today, Thursday already passed, and I didn't do a drawing stream this week, so I guess I will have to wait until next week. I was playing Sonic the Hedgehog 3 Zone 10. So, I was playing Sonic regularly on Saturdays exclusively, but I came to realize that, like, my main viewer that would actually watch me play Sonic, like, he doesn't actually watch me play the game. maybe he's just busy in real life, or maybe he doesn't really like Sonic that much and just pretends to, or some combination of the two. Whatever the reason, he's not around, so I felt like I might as well keep streaming on Saturday, but why not stream on other days too? Because it's like I don't exactly have an audience for it, so I played this on Friday also. I was gonna play Mario Maker, I think it was, and LeveLHead, but I decided to play LeveLhead and Sonic instead. So I've kind of like revised my sort of like schedule, if you even want to call it that, moving forward, to be Saturday is where I play 3 different games or more, and every other day is where I play 1 or 2 games. I think that's fine. I think this is a fine schedule to have, and I can just choose whatever I want to play from day to day, instead of just like going according to the whims of an audience that doesn't exist. Anyway, this zone was pretty difficult. It was the one with lots of lava. It reminded me a little bit of Zone 2 from the original Sonic, but it was a lot harder than that. They definitely went all out in making like some bosses be really tough in this zone. And I spent, as you could see, almost 3 hours on it and still hadn't beaten it yet. I was starting to get close though. Um, Before that, I had probably played LeveLHead for like 5 hours or something. I don't know. I was playing a mixture of times, tower trials, building stuff, and playing some dude's levels that were re-uploaded mostly. Anyway, I'm not sure why. Okay, no, I'm going chronologically, right? Well, it's semi-chronologically anyway. Because the times of the highlights within a particular day are mixed up. Wait, what? This can't be right. Wait, did I not play LeveLHead? Oh, I must have misremembered. I played Mario instead of LeveLHead. Huh, my bad. I guess we played LeveLHead on, like, Saturday or Sunday. Anyway, we definitely have some LeveLHead highlight in there somewhere. I promise. Okay, we were fighting a bunch of thwomps, and the course had not been cleared yet, so I was like, okay, sure, let's beat this. So I beat it. It took me more than 15 minutes to beat it, but that's because we had to kill a lot of thwomps, okay? And I kept messing up. Well, actually, it was about 15 minutes or so, because there was a bit of time spent talking, pausing, blah blah blah. Okay, well, to be fair, I didn't have much of a chat to talk to, but that doesn't stop me from talking and distracting myself anyway and trying to create an entertaining experience for you guys, blah blah blah. Okay, so it was about 15 minutes or so, 16, according to the death clock. Alright, so the death clock's pretty accurate. I won't pause, of course, if you pause, but it doesn't really look like I was doing much pausing. Just being dumb. Anyway, what's next? So it's just another Thwomp level. Let's try out Boomerang Breakout. The guy's name was well, I guess. Actually, I'm not sure if I remember the difference between O and Wo, but usually they pronounce them almost the same, if not the same. It really depends on the region in Japan, blah blah blah. Then there's this level, which took me a bit. Do we know how many times we died on the Thwomp level? I'm sure there's another Thwomp level. You guys can check the ends of the highlights if you're curious. Oh yeah, this is an individual highlight. What am I doing? So we died on this one, Boomerang Breakout, 12 times. and took me 14 minutes to beat. And this one, 5 times. It took me 16 minutes to beat. So as you can see, the longer levels tend to take longer, even if they're not so hard. Which is why people are scared of like my my extermination challenge, Super World. They're afraid it's gonna take them a long time to beat it. They're gonna exaggerate about how long it takes them to beat them too sometimes. Anyway, somebody said it took them 2 weeks to beat my extermination challenge level. Yeah, that's like counting playing other people's levels and me not even being in your chat and you also playing other games like Jackbox, blah blah blah. Yeah, and doing IRL things, of course, don't forget that. This level was actually somewhat difficult. It was not particularly long though, so I only died 11 times on it. As you can see here, we made it to the end at about the 17-minute mark, just shy of 17 minutes. So shorter than the extermination challenge level. It's just a basic auto scroller. It was pretty easy. The level kills Meowser for you. And then we had I don't know why I highlighted this. That must have been a mistake. But somebody sent me an easy parkour level, so I played it, and somehow it ended up in the highlight. I guess it's because when we click on this, it like shows that I'm playing 3D World Desert, but I'm not. It was probably doing that earlier for this section. I don't know. I'm not sure how to explain why this highlights like this, but I guess I could edit it, trim it down maybe. I'm just gonna leave it alone. It's fine. I could change its title. Yeah, we're gonna probably even change the title of the highlight to plants and platforms and this. Anyway, this level it didn't die on. It was pretty easy. It gave us decent amount of power-ups, decent amount of obstacles, blah blah blah. And it has a 2% clear rate. So yeah, you can make something basically end up in super expert even though it's easy, and that's what happened here. Took me a little less than 5 minutes to beat the level. So it didn't even need a 500-second timer like some of my levels would. Well, need is such a strong word, but you get the point. I just felt like it was a good idea because, like, especially on the first level that I ever uploaded, it was extermination. I mean, it was like exploration, so you wanted to give the players time to explore. Why is my camera frozen here? I don't know. I guess I fixed it at some point. Anyway, so I was playing as Pyra. I finally decided to buy some DLC for Smash. I might buy another DLC character every month or so or something. Just like a little, I don't know, I'm not sure when I'll buy the next one. I'll probably get like Sephiroth or something like that. Maybe Kazuya. Anyway, so yeah, I was just playing some background matchmaking as the title of the highlight says. And, it was fun, I guess. It was okay. Anyway, I only played this for like not even 20 minutes apparently. So you can actually get a pretty decent number of games in a relatively short amount of time. The background matchmaking, they actually find you matches ridiculously fast. So I guess that goes to show you there are tons and tons of people still playing Smash. So, kind of like League of Legends. Anyway, November 20th, find Tiptoe for package. So this was me just building a level. So I spent a long time on this, more than an hour and a half, and I'm still not done yet. Because it takes me a while to build a good level, blah, blah, blah. And then we have, what else? Sonic the Hedgehog again. There's 2 different chapters because part of it I was streaming retro. Because I was curious if I stream a retro category, will people recognize Sonic 3 Knuckles and come watch? I don't know, just a thought. I don't want it to say like the people are that I streamed retro recently in my profile, but I can apparently turn that part off. Because I don't really like the look of the icon, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, we finally got to, Zone 11, and if you blink, you'll miss it, because, like, I didn't even die on it. And here's Zone 12. So, the reason why is because Zone 11 is basically, the cinematic zones. There's just, like, a movie going on there, sort of, and you're just playing the movie. You can move around within the movie, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, Zone 12 is a lot of tricky platforming, I guess. Nothing too complicated. And then, like, a bunch of boss fights. So, and lots of game overs. The boss fights are like remakes of the old boss fights from, like, Sonic 1 and 2, I guess. And maybe even a little bit of 3, I'm not sure. Anyway, I have no idea if I was close to the end or not, but I definitely struggled on it. So that, I spent about an hour playing that. Yeah, well, it was pretty intense, and it was probably towards the end of the day. I played some Smash after that. I wanted to make some time for Smash, because I don't know, I was thinking people want to do more, like, playing with viewers stuff, and Mario Maker 2 and LeveLHead don't necessarily feel like playing with viewers as much as some of the other options do, so... Anyway, and then we have a highlight of me building a new level in a new series. This is level number 2, and I decided to build one based off of Shorts Yate and I when he was playing Red Coin Collecting 20. And Shorts 24 is a streamer that I watch quite a bit because he's pretty enthusiastic Mario Maker 2 player that likes speed runs, so it's fun to see speedrunner mess up, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, he panicked. He, for whatever reason, thought that the last room was meant to be a challenge or something, and he was like 1 hit point, and even grabbed a leaf, even though the leaves were coming from 2 different pipes. Instead, he got jumped on by a Goomba in his shoe and died, which was amazing, and he managed to do that, but regardless of whether or not it was intentional, he said that there were some spikes down below that he was scared of. Which, you know what? I'm not sure if I believe him, but it doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter. He might have forgotten whose level he was playing partway through, which I'm not sure how that would have happened. Maybe it wasn't one of my best Red Coin Collection levels, who knows, but I did my best. Or maybe he actually thought that I was capable of doing something like that, which I suppose is possible. Anyway, yeah, let's put some spikes in the celebratory room, Kappa. Anyway, maybe I'll just continue streaming on 1080p and just make Twitch and my ISP deal with it. I mean, past broadcasts you can watch it in whatever source you want, which is cool. Anyway, there was this hunt down the ants level that was ridiculously hard, and I think almost gave up on it. At a certain point, because I got really confused. Oh, it's just because I didn't know where my key was, but I had it the whole time. Yeah, that's a thing that happens sometimes. Sometimes you're just really dumb because it's okay, to be fair, like here's the thing. I played Mario Maker on Friday and Saturday, right? And I think I might have played it on Sunday also. Am I misremembering anything? Probably not. Anyway, I may have played it 3 days in a row. And the week before that, I think I was playing it a decent amount. I'm not really sure how much I was playing it. Maybe not a whole lot. But no, but when I was playing some tough levels. Like even looking at this, this is a past broadcast. I didn't highlight this. You guys aren't gonna see it because I'm not always gonna highlight it. But I get a lot of nasty viewer levels, like really really hard to beat, and they just kind of suck the the energy out of me like really fast in a short time frame. And as I start to get low energy, sometimes that affects like just me all over the place. Like, look, oh yeah, wasn't I looking for an ant too? It's at a certain point. I guess so, but I think the last ant was like after the pipe, or the locked door rather. I don't know. It's weird. Like they expect you to take damage to the pokey without defeating the ant, which surprised me and kind of annoyed me. So anyway, this was why did I click on this? This is a 6 hour video, or almost 7 hours. Um, yeah, some of these levels have some really weird titles. Like this one, Bit Easy, Lower Knocks for Dragging. Lower could also be translated as please, but I'm not sure if it really makes any more sense. Please Knocks for Dragging, like that doesn't actually make more sense, so I decided to go with lower instead. Not that it really helps much with the translation. Anyway, there's a couple of coin collecting levels by LeveLHead. They were really easy. They were 3D World. They weren't the prettiest levels you'll ever find, but anyway, they were functionally okay. Nothing wrong with them. Then we have. Are we almost done already? Yeah, I guess so. Except we gotta do this Shin Megami Tensei stuff. Alright. This was a hashtag DGR level. This level was pretty tricky. It was a 3D world level. I'm not sure what kind of level it was trying to be. Maybe like their impression of a Champions Road or something. If you're not careful, you're gonna die to those Goombas like that. Anyway, this level took a while, but it didn't actually even take 15 minutes. So I took 10 deaths, maybe? Yeah, 10 deaths and about 11 minutes. Just shy of 11 minutes. So 10 deaths, 10 minutes, beat the level. Definitely a pretty good time investment, I would say. If it only takes 10 minutes for me to beat every hashtag DGR level, then I should beat them. I should play them all, but obviously not all of them are going to be that easy or hard, for that matter. Some of them are ridiculously easy, and some of them are ridiculously hard. All right, now it's time to get to the end of the stream, where I switch scenes and boot up the Switch, the Nintendo Switch, that is. It's funny how rarely anybody ever calls this the Nintendo Switch. People just shorten it to Switch. how often did people shorten Nintendo 64 to just 64? Should we be shortening it to just Switch? I don't know. Doesn't really matter one way or the other, I guess. Oh, this is the wrong controller. Whoops. Can't really see anything right now. Let me boot up the capture program. Okay. So you want to go into the album here. So I've been spending dozens of hours on this game. I'm definitely, like, I'm being a slowpoke. I'm not going to lie. Like, I am doing side quests. I find them somewhat irresistible. I'm also, like, doing dumb stuff. Like, I try to explore, and I'm, like, really curious and try to avoid enemies. I don't always succeed at avoiding them. Blah blah blah. And because I'm, like, trying to avoid them, it actually makes me spend more time than if I just don't. But I have, like, this deep curiosity that just won't let go of things, and so it makes me take longer to play in the level than otherwise would. Anyway, one of the things I've been trying to do is defeat those things that generate these, like, pink auras or whatever, because then I get more stuff to spend my glory on. Alright, so last time we had me playing this game the week before, right? Like, I was playing this, and you got to see that, like, okay, so there's basically just a boss fight. Like, there wasn't really much to talk about, but and I could show, like, the video and stuff like that, but I don't know if, like, they want you to show videos or not with this game. Like, I don't know, there's a lot of stuff going on with, like, Twitch and YouTube, blah blah blah. Like, people on YouTube get away with, like, so much, like, nonsense, like spoiling games and stuff, like, all the time. I feel like, I'm not sure, Twitch, I don't know. Anyway, moving forward, there was, let's just start taking a look at some of the text here. So there's a bunch of loading screen screenshots, of course. I don't remember if this was a new area or not after we defeated Lamu. I don't think it was. I'm not sure. Maybe Shinagawa Minato. Shinagawa, I believe, was where you fought Lamu. Okay. So, yeah, I defeated this guy, blah blah blah. Well, you can actually see it this time as I scroll through these, the name change, because the camera is on a different side of the screen. I thought this dragon looks so cool. It's so unfortunate that he's such a lower level. So the interesting thing about this game is the next level experience, like, gets so out of control as you continue to level up the monsters that were low level when you got them. So in other words, like, early on, it might only be, 16,000 to level up. But eventually it starts becoming, 1.6 million and much higher to level up. The more you level it up, the more it's going to cost experience to level it up again. And the game doesn't do a great job of making sure those monsters get enough experience. So, the solution, basically, is to just simply fuse them with other monsters to make new ones, which don't have as steep experience requirements to level up. and it's a little bit annoying, but I don't really mind that much. It's just kind of a huge time investment for me in particular because I love to look at all my various different options and stuff, and I spent way too much time doing that. Anyway, I took screenshots of these various, like, I don't know, super bosses, if you want to call them that. Or just really strong monsters that are in the wrong region or whatever. Anyway, this was a special fusion you could get, which I took a screenshot of. This was basically a boss, but then later in another region, he becomes a normal enemy. Anyway, he was really overpowered when I first found him, kinda, but not really. Actually, I was scared of him though. He was marked as a strong monster on the map, which, it's hard to say just how strong it'll be compared to other things around. Sometimes they're not as strong or not as weak as you thought they were going to be. Anyway, this guy wasn't too bad, but he was definitely really scary. And I don't think I might not have been able to beat him when I first met him. I'm not sure, but I definitely beat him at some point. And then we talked to her, who wanted me to beat him. Presumably, they expect you to run away from him through a building to get to her, which is interesting. But yeah, that wasn't the first. That might have been the first quest I completed before they asked me to do it in this particular game, but it certainly hasn't been the last. Done it quite a few times since then. So we're still in Shinagawa. So this was a really interesting story. So I don't know if yeah. So what happened was there's a save point in this realm. I mean, there's a save point. In this, what was I trying to say? Yeah, in this realm of the zone, we'll just call the entire map its own zone, okay? So, because you don't have to reach a new loading screen, we can teleport from save point to save point within this particular zone. So what is a zone? Anyways, on this section of the map, in this realm, the fairy forest, let's call it that, the fairy forest in the nearby areas, I couldn't find a save point anywhere, and I wondered if there was some sort of story reason why there wasn't one. Which, if that were true, you would think it would be somewhere not where the fairies were, but it actually kind of was around where the fairies were. I just, for whatever reason, hadn't seen it. Like, it was hard. Some of the save points in this game are harder to see than others, because there's like so much brightness, and the save points are rather bright themselves. So they kind of blend into the environment. I'm still not sure what enemy that is down there. I haven't fought it yet. Over by that glory piece, or amalgam, I guess, that gives you like a whole bunch of glory. Anyway, yeah, so I did a lot of running back and forth between and back yeah, anyways, instead of teleporting, because I didn't know where the save point was, which was kind of a bother. But I didn't mind too much. There's this gal who keeps making you hunt down Baal, various Baal gods, because they're evil, blah, blah, blah. Okay, this was the boss fight. This was the boss fight that I streamed. So I was playing a lot off stream, and then I decided to play on stream. And I accidentally was streaming in Mario Maker category, and a couple of people got really angry about that, I guess, from the Mario Maker community. So whatever. Anyways, it was a difficult boss fight, and I'm not sure what all this is. Story stuff. Okay, so what happened was, the girl, the one that doesn't have a green scarf, Tao, she was following us around within all of Shin Megami, or whatever the place was called. I can't remember. Anyways, Shinagawa, something like that. Anyways, yeah, Gawa for like river. Anyway, she was following us around and healing us at the end of every battle. Like she would revive monsters for being knocked out, as well as heal whoever, which was really cool. Anyway, she didn't restore your MP though, but that's fine. Anyway, MP is the most expensive to restore. If you use a save point to spend money to restore your characters, which is pretty interesting. So that's somewhat balanced, I suppose. Anyways, she didn't heal everyone to full. She just healed them a certain amount, but as long as you're not taking too much damage, then she's gonna be top you off pretty much all the time. Anyway, yeah, there's lots of like talk, blah 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 about what's going on in this game, and they like slowly teach you more and more about what's happening. Okay, so this guy, he's level 70, but he's actually harder to defeat than some level 72 enemies that I've fought last night or tonight. He's the thing of it is, like he summons other things that are like level 65, and he summons a lot of them. And not just that, but he like resists like 4 different elements, is immune to another. Like, come on. He's like so hard to do damage to. I'm like the other enemies, they're doing quite a bit of damage too. Like I think my main character might be level 66 at the most, and I could level some other characters up to that point too, but I'm saving up my grimoires to level them up later. I want it to be a little bit more efficient. I want what's her name to catch up. I don't want the other monsters to just transform into other monsters. Blah blah blah. There's the gal with the green scarf. She kind of doesn't ever really do anything in this game. I wonder if that's ever going to change. But anyway. She says, I'm going to stay and help out here until everyone's recovered, but we never actually see anything that she does. So I'm not saying she does nothing, but she's just an NPC. Like, she doesn't interact with us at all. Like, at least, Dazai and that other dude, like, they battle quite a bit. They're not really, like, with me ever, but they're, like, around me. Then there's this guy who just kind of duels us a lot. He's kind of like Team Rocket. He's like James, and Jesse is like, I think, a demon, maybe. I'm not, or angel, whatever. Not like there's really a difference in this game. Then we have some various enemies. That's the thing I was talking about. The pink sand. It's that color because of that monster right there. Anyway, you have to attack them, attack the thing or run into it maybe, in order to spawn like the bosses of it. Also, like before you can fight them, you have to move around a bunch of enemies that will try to swarm you down, which is pretty interesting. You could fight them all, I guess, if you wanted, which would be a lot of experience, presumably, but I generally don't do that. I just want to get it over with. I want my unlocks, so I usually try to dodge as many of them as possible. This guy was pretty interesting, so I screenshotted him. And we have like some story stuff. So Kelpie wants to help out with he was in the fairy forest. And he wants to make more plants grow all over the world, and he's gonna use a monster's head apparently to do that. Not sure how that works. It's this particular monster. Yeah, maybe it has something to do with his trunk. The trunk, some sort of sprinkler hose or whatever. It's probably just meant to be a joke. Anyway, and we have this monster, which seems to be kind of rare. I'm surprised we haven't run into it as a common enemy. Anyway, this was a boss fight. You can get them if you try and use some element monsters. Then there's this guy. Oh yeah, so this guy was one of the I don't know, like special guardian monsters or something. He was really powerful. Like he was looking like such a. I feel like every time they made you fight like him or somebody like him, they wanted you to think like that this person was like basically Satan the devil or something like that, like one of his top lieutenants or something. This guy was epic. He has like this lightsaber, but it's fire instead of a lightsaber, which was pretty epic. And he also had like the flame wall thing, which shows up quite a bit in various mythologies or whatever. Anyways, like the flame barrier was pretty epic. We had to go on the big old quest to acquire something to walk through it. And then the guy was surprised we beat him, even though we could walk through his barrier. Or was he? I don't know if he was surprised or not. But anyway, then there's this guy who's apparently homies with these other people. Which is interesting. So apparently he had been controlled. So apparently, like, you. It seems like Oya Matsumi was. I'm not sure what the deal is. Maybe he was under the effects of a status effect, or maybe he was just like literally possessed or something. I don't know. But we killed him and then they revived him. Maybe it has something to do with the fact that he kind of looks like he's a golem, something like that. Like maybe he's like, I don't know. It's weird. He kind of reminds me of like he's supposed to be like an artificial being. So then like he doesn't have a soul, but he has artificial intelligence or something. But then like you can like influence his will, like if you possess him or something. I don't know. It's weird. It makes me wonder like It makes me wonder like a lot of stuff about this game. Like the whole Naho stuff seems pretty different. It seems more like fusion than like what's happening with this guy where he like gets controlled. Anyway, but I guess it changes from monster to monster, blah blah blah, whatever. Anyway, or the relationship between them and their human and stuff. So this was an interesting looking monster. So this one's like the I don't know what Yamata means, but Orochi just means like snake or snakes. So yeah, we have Snakehead monster, basically a Hydra, and then we have another Hydra here. This one's a much higher level though. But they have similar stats, even though the stats numbers are different. The like the ratio is similar, right? Like high strength and vitality and low the other things, basically. Especially low is magic. Anyway, this one has great life spring. Also, its starting HP is pretty high. Apparently, when it comes to like the life spring, the mana spring abilities, the higher your HPRD or MPRD is, the higher it increases it by. So it's the percentage based. So I'll be curious to see how high that is. Right now I have a monster with like in the 500s, like it's closer to 600 than 500 as far as HP value goes. But to be fair, he has a great life spring, I think, on him. I'm not sure how much his starting HP was, but anyway, I think they're getting something like 15 or 25% with that particular ability. I'm not sure how much, but and we found lots of Memon. There's so many Memon everywhere. Oh yeah, and she's pretty interesting too. There's been a lot of stuff going on with her. Apparently she runs off and like, I don't know if she's getting possessed or what her deal is. I'm not sure if she's some sort of Nahobino or something or what, but She might be. Anyway, she's apparently doesn't have control of herself all the time, and later on, I'm not sure if she's telling a joke or not, or if she's actually getting possessed by somebody, but she starts like talking like she talks like Yuffie from Final Fantasy VII, right? And then she starts talking like Aerith, like all of a sudden, but it's really rare. She rarely talks like Aerith. She's only talking about it like every time we go collect one of these keys. So we've collected 2 of them so far, and we need to collect the 3rd one. And she's presumably going to use that voice again, or way of talking, or whatever you want to call it. Anyway, she then talks to our main character, and his companion saying something like, "Why are you looking at me like that?" You know. And then anyway, she's a character. Then there's this dude who's also something of a character. He actually helped us out a lot, I guess. I'm very curious to find out what the boss fight would have been like if I didn't do what he said, because apparently you can fight her without deactivating her abilities. For one thing, she seems to be using fewer abilities, and she seems to get interrupted, so I guess she like wastes turns if you turn off her various power points, which is interesting. They actually say that like when you turn off like 3 or 4 of them, that like her power's cut in half or something, which I found interesting. Anyway, she was pretty easy to defeat, I suppose. But yeah, usually the bosses are pretty tough. This guy was pretty impactful for a while, but eventually, like, leveling him up is just too unrealistic, and because like the level advantage in this game is such a big deal, even though his like strength was like really high for his level, it kind of didn't really matter. So it seems like spending like the incense for your monsters to boost their individual stats is not the most useful thing ever. Not that it's not useful, but it's not going to get as much value as just like evolving to a new monster, pretty much, that has 10 levels higher or something. Anyways, yeah, he was one of the cool ones, because every once in a while you come across a monster that has a unique ability. And the unique abilities are usually quite powerful, so that's neat. Anyway, I think his main issue wasn't so much that he wasn't doing tons of damage, although he kind of wasn't doing much, but also he was just taking too much as well. Vitality is such an important stat. Like, lately, I don't even consider using a monster, except for in emergencies, unless it has at least 60 vitality. It's pretty crazy. Anyway, so what was I doing? So, oh yeah, and okay, so we had the fire sword dude, and then we have strangely shaped horn girl, who's another like top lieutenant, I guess, or something. So we fought her. Yeah, she was the one I was talking about that wasn't as powerful as she could have been. So I wonder how powerful she would have been if I didn't turn any of those things off, like Mr. Floating Starfish says. Oops. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. What's wrong with me? I'm not sure if we looked at her stats or not. Anyway, she's a mage, as you can see, but her vitality's not very high, so I haven't really been using her. I decided to transform her into something else. Anyway, then there's her. The way she arrives, she's like, her and her minions kind of like surround you, and she faces you head on. It kind of almost looks like she's trying to intimidate you, or she's thinking about whether or not she wants to kill you or something. theoretically, I don't know. Maybe she made it. Maybe she wanted to make it look that way to a certain person. Anyway, like I felt like the entire time she's been like fighting the urge to just like fight us or something because we're an Ahobino or something. So basically, what happened was, it seems like I'm not sure if the guy that took the throne is he not a Nahobino? He might not be. I'm not sure if he is or not. But whoever he was that got defeated, he banned other like angels or demons from being Nahobinos, and he was able to do that because he was on the throne. And so that, for whatever reason, that allowed him to stay really powerful because Nahobinos were too OP or something. I'm not sure if it meant whether he was a Nahobino himself or not. I don't know, but it's kind of a little bit unclear in a lot of ways. So this was another top lieutenant, believe it or not. He looks really disgusting. I guess he's like a gluttonous top lieutenant. It's pretty weird. Like, why is his head like below his shoulders? Like, what? Anyway, that's not the only monster that looks like that, kind of, with the head between like below their shoulders. But anyway, what was I gonna say? So, yeah. So Dazai there with the yellow hat has been gushing over her quite a bit. She was helping him out, like, giving him like additional angels to fight with or something. Anyway, he has to like summon stuff. I'm not sure if he's summoning her stuff or what's the deal. I was like under the impression that Yuzuru was a summoner too, but maybe it wasn't. I don't know. It's all very confusing. I was. The other guy's in more of a newbie. Anyway, whatever. Blah, 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 blah. What was I gonna say? So we defeated the fat dude. And because we defeated the fat dude, that's when we had the meeting with our director. And the director tells us a lot of new stuff. Blah, blah, blah. And, then we go to this meeting, and there's a bunch of people that we interact with at the meeting. And these are people that I guess are part of the so-called Bethel. Like, apparently these are like, I don't know, I guess lieutenants for whatever god got defeated. So again, I have no idea who the god is that got defeated. I don't know if they're ever going to show that. I don't think it really matters. But anyway, this was one of the lieutenants, and this was called Zeus. Another one's called Shiva. For some reason, we have the lieutenant, like, being the, or maybe these are generals. It doesn't really matter what you call them. Like, that's like their, supposedly that's like the underling, with the snake on the right. That's not actually Shiva himself. Although in this game they call him Shiva. I'm not really sure if it really matters which way you pronounce it, but at least not in the English language. But because if it sounds like shiver, it's not actually weird. But the original pronunciation is Shiva. Yeah, so they have some various viewpoints, but apparently we fight them all, no matter what. This guy, anyway, I try to, like, keep them alive whenever possible, blah, blah, blah. Because they all seem generally like we could potentially, like, recruit them for the future or something. Because apparently that's what our characters want to do. They want people to get along and be harmonious, blah, blah, blah. So I'm trying to get along with these people. I don't think you guys even have the option of defeating her, and you'll find out why soon. Not the most important thing ever, but I don't know how much I want to spoil for you guys, really, but we'll just scroll through some of this. So there was a new area that we entered, and this time the sand is very white. I mean, it literally looks like it's snow, so that's pretty wild. So the brightness of the area totally, like, getting washed. I mean, the original color is getting washed out. So this was like a sort of like a slime monster, I want to say, that you had to fight, which is kind of disappointing, but whatever, for the name of that monster. But anyway, and then there's this thing, which level 99 is a really unfair advantage. Look how pathetic their stats are, but they're still really powerful. Like, come on, man. I need to get some levels. Like, I can't beat these guys. They're actually really tough. Like, we're tickling them when we fight them. I'm not sure how much HP they have, but we're not even doing 100 damage, blah, blah, blah. Haven't fought them lately, but I think you need to be a 70 or 80 to beat them. I don't think 60s is good enough. So far, pretty much all of my stuff is in the 60s right now. My highest level character is 69 right now. He's actually been 69 for a while. He needs to level up. That's what level he was when you got him, believe it or not. It's not like I've been intentionally keeping him at that level. Anyway, I seriously doubt his experience gain will go up higher, but I think I have not been grinding the experience. I've just been getting in as many of the boss fights as I can right now before I level up too much and they become too easy or something like that. It's kind of what I'm doing. Oh yeah, I beat this guy. I think it's like a level 90 something fusion to get him, but the actual fight itself is only like level 72 or something like that. So he was pretty tough. Oh, no, he's 69. Okay, pretty close to 72. There's that number 69 again. Anyway, yeah, this was not the guy that I recruited, though. That was level 69 when I recruited him. This guy's like 93 or something like that. Anyway, you can finally recruit him. She starts out at like maybe level 60 or something. I don't want to talk too much about her. It might have been a little less than 60, I'm not sure. It doesn't really matter. Like, because the nature of this particular character, I've been using them as my main mage moving forward. I actually was trying to use my main character as the main mage. Oh, that's the dude I was talking about. Yeah, so look at him. See, look, I boosted his magic up pretty high. And then so I started putting points into strength though, because Murakumo is really good. Plus she's a mage. Anyway, by now I have +9 in the chaos damage, if you want to call it that. Almighty is what it's called. Anyway, so this dude, he was the one that sent me on a quest to go defeat that LGBT horse dude, peacock thingy, or wannabe or whatever. So I defeated him. You could actually, I think you could fight this guy instead and get the LGBT horse dude on your team, I suppose, if you wanted. But I didn't do that. This looks like a potentially attractive monster, but I feel like by the time I get to level 66, it might not be as interesting anymore. But yeah, at the time when I was first seeing it potentially be unlocked, I was like, wow, that looks pretty exciting. I think I am level 66 now. We're like one level away from being able to unlock Scotty, which is pretty good with dark damage. So I would imagine I might be able to use this particular monster to defeat that golden dragon that you guys may have seen earlier. That's level 70 that summons a lot of level 65 monsters. But I might pass on fusing into her. I'm not sure if we'll go for it or not. But I'm not 67 now in any case. This was apparently a boss, so I was able to, I got his essence before I encountered him. In any case, I'm not sure if I was able to transform into him or not. I'm not sure if I was level 68 or not at the time. But anyway, in this particular area, this is kind of like, you can kind of think of this guy as like Jumbo Cactar maybe or something. No, it's bad description, but in this particular area, you fight those Cactar-like things, and in this area, they're actually easy to kill. You can actually just kill them with almighty damage. Like, I guess, I'm not sure if they're resistant to it or not, but they don't have much hit points, so you can take them out with Megidola, which is what I was doing. with my main mage. And you could even take him out with your main character too, or with mine, as buffed as he is. But in other areas, they're not that weak. They have more hit points, or they resist it more. Blah blah blah. This person's telling a story, blah blah blah. She was after that fight. For some reason she came here. I guess this was her origin point. So I guess it was an origin point for Horus. But there's no monsters here almost. I don't remember there being a Horus monster. You would think there would be one here. There'd be a good spot to put one. Anyway, I scanned him again because I tried to fight him again and I failed miserably. Anyway, this guy was only level 64, so he wasn't really anything special since I already beat the level 69 Baal earlier. This was a monster that we could theoretically fuse into because we have the components. We're just not high enough level yet. And then I was looking at some very special fusions, monsters that I haven't fused yet. I was thinking maybe I want to go around and collect those monsters to save myself some money. And so I did that, but I didn't do it for Alice yet. I only did it for Cert. I decided to make Cert. Just so that way we have them in the compendiums. That way when we do reverse compendium fusion, then we'll have them available to be able to see what would be available if we wanted to use them for a fusion. Anyway, this was one of the boss fights. This guy was really tough. His luck was really high, and that's so that way it increases the chance that he hits you with ailments. He hits you with a lot of different ailments, which is pretty wild stuff. Anyway, as you can see, he's only weak to fire, but as far as the resistance or reflections, immunities, whatever goes, there's not that much, so it wasn't that bad. I definitely had to come up with a really interesting and reliable strategy to beat him. It wasn't too tough. So I ended up going through like my showers. There's like, I can't remember what it's called. There's like a soda and a shower. And if you use a shower, it's like a mega remedy. I was using that. Anyway, we fought another guy that was kind of like this at some point, and I already ran out of showers pretty much. So what I decided to do was unlock the ability for all my monsters to use items, so that way they could use sodas. So, because, yeah, we don't want the characters taking poison damage and stuff like that, because that just gets out of control real fast. Now, this guy looks pretty epic. He's wearing lots of dark colors and stuff. Pretty interesting. Seems to be dark-skinned, too. Anyway, I'm not sure what symbol that is, but it looks kind of cool. Then there's this thing, which kind of looks like one of those, yeah, it's horrifying. Let's not talk about that. Oh, and then there's that guy who is his own kind of horrifying. And then there's her with her fancy lecture. And then there's this guy, which, like, it escalates really quickly. Like, he's, like, so amiable, and then all of a sudden he's like, I'm going to destroy you and pry the secret of your power from your corpse. Like, excuse me? Yeah, pretty weird. And that's pretty much everything. So that guy has the key, and this other dude had a key too, and so we need one more key, and it's going to be from Zeus. Anyway, we fought that other guy who was only level 64, but we only fought him just for funsies. I guess we fought him because he was being overly defensive or something. I don't know. But yeah, we didn't finish him off or anything. Anyway, and that's everything. So yeah, we probably spent like, I would imagine, 40 plus minutes on that. Only like 20 on everything else, but that's the way it goes sometimes. Thanks everyone for watching, and today I will be streaming. I think I'll probably stream some Mario Maker, and who knows what else after that. I might keep up this routine for a little while. I'm not sure if it's a great idea or not, but I do feel like I could use a break from this game. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be playing it for like entire days at a time, like I was doing this last week, moving forward, or if I'll just play for small portions. But I definitely have been kind of. I feel like the weather has been affecting my gaming. Like, I don't think I've been playing very well in general. And I think that lends it. I think what that I mean to say is I feel kind of mediocre when it comes to platforming right now. I feel so like lacking in pep, I guess, if that's the way to describe it, which is unfortunate. But anyway, um, so I've been playing RPGs, but I've also been playing the RPGs really slowly. Like, anyway, it reminds me in a lot of ways of Bravely Default because there's like so many side quests that you can do that are hard to resist, and exploration to be done, which I'm not always good at exploring. Blah blah blah. It's kind of like an adult version of Pokemon too, which is interesting too because like I've been for a long time now been kind of like disappointed in general with how easy the Pokemon games are. This game's actually pretty hard, which I like. I like the fact that it's hard. I like a challenge. Anyway, and so I've been actively been trying to like uh sort of handicap myself in some ways, but it's so interesting. Like you can play this game in such a variety of different ways. I'll be very curious to see what the new Game Plus options are like. I'm not sure if I'll uh like if it's just as flexible as Cyberpunk Remastered and Bravely Default. I'm not sure what I want to do with it. We'll see. It might be more or less um nuanced or whatever I'm trying to say, but who knows. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna possibly play Mario Maker and Smash today. I'm not sure if that's a good idea or not. Maybe I'll start with some Smash. I don't know what I want to start with, to be honest. But I need to get off of YouTube now, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be making any more videos today. Probably not. But hopefully next week on Thursday, I'll actually make videos instead of doing what I did here, which was wait until Friday to actually do the what did you miss. Which happens sometimes. Sometimes I procrastinate, blah, blah, blah. Well, it happened to this time. Okay. If you guys are wondering about where I stream video games, you can check out the description. The link to my Twitch channel should be in the down below there. Alright, bye.